Rivian has quietly taken a big step forward in its cockpit experience, while Apple's legion of iPhone users may find themselves left out in the cold. Known for its vertically integrated approach like Tesla, Rivian has avoided the standard in-vehicle connectivity platforms such as Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Instead, it's doubling down on its homegrown systems. But this week, Rivian unveiled a major navigation overhaul, a deeply integrated Google Maps-based system that promises smarter routing, EV-specific trip planning, and tighter integration with the Rivian mobile app. It's a huge leap forward, but iPhone-centric drivers may soon feel the gap. For years, one of the criticisms leveled at Tesla, Rivian, and a few other forward-thinking EV makers has been the absence of Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. These platforms offer seamless mirroring of a user's smartphone apps, navigation, music, contacts, messages, podcasts, through the car's infotainment screen. They're ubiquitous in most modern vehicles and expected by many U.S. drivers. Rivian has defended this decision, stating that building an in-house system provides better integration with their unique EV features and allows them to avoid distractions, design limitations, and third-party dependencies. But assertions of superior integration come with drawbacks, namely, a lack of CarPlay and no App Store. Until now, Rivian owners have used a proprietary navigation experience powered by in-house mapping data. It covered standard driving directions and landmarks, and included EV-specific features like range on arrival and curated charging stops along Rivian's Adventure network, but still lacked the depth of data, and real-time awareness they needed. What Rivian announced this week addresses those issues head-on. The revamped navigation system is built on Google Maps and promises to access data on 250 million global locations, complete with reviews, hours, phone numbers, and photos. Operators switching beyond local-only data to global directories is a game-changer for R1T truck and R1S SUV drivers planning cross-country trips or venturing abroad. Since the system is built on Google's industry-leading mapping database, updates come from a global network of users and real-time reports, making it faster to notice road closures, accidents, construction warnings, and route diversions. It's an eye-opener considering the prior generation system could lag, especially on the move. Even more compelling is Rivian's take on EV-specific routing. Leveraging access to real-time charging station information, not only on Rivian's Adventure network, but also universities, workplaces, and Tesla Superchargers, drivers will now receive optimized stop suggestions. Combined with Google's intelligent trip planning and Rivian's own range on arrival tool, the system actively manages energy use based on trailer load, elevation changes, climate control, and driving style. Plugging logic and digital leave no guesswork. But what about Apple? There's no news on CarPlay support, no hints, no roadmap, no beta under wraps. iPhone-based drivers accustomed to Apple Maps, messages, podcasts, and Here Trend system familiarity will have to adapt to Google's ecosystem or stick with in-car built-in apps. It's unlikely an official CarPlay SDK will replace their internal system. Rivian is clear. Keeping iPhone-only integration would compromise their vision for a simplified and unified user experience. That said, Apple Music and AirPlay-style screencasting is still supported, allowing iPhone owners to play music, audio, or video through the infotainment system. The Google Navigation update is also mirrored in the Rivian mobile app for iOS and Android, maintaining synchronization with remote trip planning and trip editing. Owners can now plan routes from their phones, including stops, detours, and estimated arrival battery, and sync these to the car before they get behind the wheel. This brings benefits beyond navigation. A more intelligent, app-synced ecosystem allows users to control climate, charging, and vehicle preferences remotely, which is particularly useful when preparing for long drives, camping trips, or controlling cabin conditions for pets and kids. Because the update is OTA, Rivian can push future feature tweaks, corrections, and refinements without requiring dealers or factory visits. On the surface, this is another step up from what most legacy auto brands offer. Some support CarPlay, others boast Android Auto, but few integrate any brand's maps in such a deeply connected and EV-aware way. Rivian now sits in a lane of its own, one that merges the best of both worlds. Familiar Google navigation accuracy with specifically tailored EV intelligence. It's a system crafted for people who view cars as tech platforms, not just transport. That raises an interesting cultural point. Apple users in particular are left with a choice. Tesla wanders the same path, around the same opinion, substituted. iPhone users can rely on Apple Car, or stay disconnected, or attempt to drive their phone's maps through mirroring hacks. The latter are unreliable or disallowed, and CarPlay alternatives from third parties usually feel clunky or uninspired. So, what does this mean for a Rivian owner in the US? Pre-update, owners relied on proprietary navigation, which was functional but limited. Some used smartphones mounted for Apple Maps. Others embraced the in-car Android widget-like layout. Pre-COVID dealers touted Rivian's simplicity. Now, while there's no CarPlay, their experience feels more capable. Routing through Google's network allows for discovering en route restaurants, gas stations, EV chargers, rest stops, and other poise, while offering more accurate ETAs and real-time rerouting. But solely relying on Google Maps may feel like a surrender for Apple diehards. Apple Maps has matured a lot and is deeply integrated with the iPhone experience. Context-based routing, Siri voice commands, messaging, HomePod handoff. Switching from Apple to Google better be worth it, which is far from certain for those entrenched in the Apple environment. This situation is illustrative of a broader EV-era clash, where automakers build custom stacks, while Apple pushes for CarPlay as the standard. Tesla, Rivian, and other modern EV makers argue that custom stacks offer better tailored experiences, faster feature shipping, and more control. Apple counters that drivers want consistency and app familiarity, not fragmented new interfaces. It's a tension that extends throughout the industry, with no end in sight. Ultimately, the Google Navigated update is a big win for Rivian as a brand and for drivers who prioritize smart routing and EV awareness. But for America's iPhone majority, it's a mixed blessing. You gain much in data and usability, but lose access to Apple's interface comfort and deeper device integration. If user experience trumps phone allegiance, Rivian's update is a coup. If it's about seamless iPhone compatibility, it might fall short. Consider this. Anyone making digital nomads of their R1 trucks away from the usual charging networks will revel in the new map intelligence. Anyone who holds their phone association sacred may bide their time, or hope Rivian changes course. Either way, it's a small revolution in EV UX. And whether Rivian embraces enough platform flexibility, or ultimately reconsiders Apple, will shape how people think about cars in the digital age. One thing is certain, Rivian just got a lot smarter. But whether everyone gets on board may depend on which side of the tech divide they drive from.